Okay, so just because your girlfriend is speaking to you in a compassionate tone and she's saying that she wants to help you, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with you, because women have this impulse. They often try and fix their boyfriends, and it's difficult for men to really spot what's actually going on. On the surface, it seems as though they're being very sweet, very supportive, but the true agenda is often really selfish. It's actually quite manipulative what they're doing. Now, men have difficulty detecting this because it's not like it's outright abuse. It's very, very subtle. Because it seems as though she's being very kind, very helpful, men are scared to trust their actual instincts and call it out and demand that she stop. After all, like, what kind of man is going to get upset at his girlfriend when all she's doing, it seems, is trying to help? So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain specifically why her attempts to fix you are selfish and manipulative so that you understand what's going on. And if a woman ever tries to help you in this way, you are confident to put a stop to it. And that reminds me, I'm going to release a video telling the story of Julia. That's the woman who manipulated and humiliated me once I reached 2,500 supporters on Patreon. So check out my Patreon if you want to see how close I am to that goal. Now, picture this scenario. You're out to dinner with your girlfriend. She runs into some guy that she knows from her past. She doesn't introduce you, but she's laughing at this guy's jokes. You know, she's twirling her hair. She's generally flirting with this guy. 100% inappropriate behavior. So later on, you tell her, I'm really upset at how you acted. You share that you're feeling humiliated. You're feeling angry. Pay close attention to how she responds. Now, obviously, if she gets really angry or defensive, you're dealing with a woman who doesn't like to be held accountable. She's not going to take responsibility for her behavior. And that's terrible, but it's reasonably easy to spot. What if instead her reaction is that she gets all concerned for you? What are you meant to make of that? What if once you share your emotions and how you're feeling, she asks you a lot of questions? She says, well, how does that make you feel? Are you experiencing jealousy right now? Have you had incidents in the past where women made you feel insecure? Now, part of your brain thinks, well, this seems to be good. She's being very sweet. She's being very supportive. She's helping me explore why this is an issue for me. And so you decide to just go with it. You talk about your feelings of humiliation. You talk about trust issues that you've had from your past relationships, and she's helping you. This seems good, but all the while, you can't help but shake the feeling that something is wrong. Trust that feeling. Because zoom out for a second and look at what's actually happened here. She was the one who messed up. She was the one who acted inappropriately. And yet, in the aftermath, in talking about it, you're talking exclusively about you, about how you feel. What the hell? Why aren't we talking about her, what she did? Your gut knows that this compassion that you're receiving from her, it's not real. It's just a means for her to evade responsibility, to shift the focus. And that's why I say that it's incredibly manipulative. Don't fall for it. I know it's easy to get suckered in, but do not fall for it. The best way to protect yourself against this is to trust the legitimacy of your gut response. Trust the legitimacy of your emotions. Yes, you're feeling jealous. Yes, you're feeling angry. Yes, you're feeling insecure and humiliated, and this is triggering your trust issues. Now, all those unpleasant emotions, I understand that can be very, very disconcerting, especially when so few of us are actually raised by parents that modeled a healthy expression of anger or really allowed us the space to actually experience negative emotions without being shamed for them. And so we're sensitive to criticisms for feeling them. So with that in mind, it's easy to convince most men that if they're feeling jealous and angry and secure, that means that there's something wrong with them. But hold up for a second. What's wrong with feeling jealous? I mean, surely there are situations like when your girlfriend is disrespecting you, openly flirting with another man, when feeling jealous is entirely appropriate. How else should you feel? Jealousy in that situation is the normal reaction. The fact that you're angry, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. That is an appropriate response. That indicates that you are functioning normally as just a regular, healthy human being. her attempts to shift the focus onto you, to help you, to support you, to try and fix you, that's messed up because it is her invalidating the legitimacy of your emotions. Don't fall for it. This sweet, supportive act is poison, coated in sugar. But sugar-coated poison is still poison. Her trying to fix you, that's just her distraction tactic. It's her means of evading responsibility for her actions. But it will only work if you allow it to. So don't give her that space. Call it out for what it is. Now, if you're encountering situations like this and you're unsure if your girlfriend's attempts to help you are actually sincere or if they're this manipulation tactic, feel free. Ask me some questions. Send me your story over Hey Hero. I'll get back to you. I'll let you know. I'll send you a personalized video in response helping you out. If you want to get that, there's a link in the description box. But now pay attention because this next part is the most important aspect of this because this is the hardest thing for men to detect. The example of a woman evading responsibility for her behavior and shifting the focus onto you is something that most guys can understand, at least cognitively. It can be harder to spot as it's occurring, but most guys understand the theory that I'm explaining here. This next one is a lot harder because sometimes women will try and help you, try and fix you, not because there's anything wrong with you, but because they are uncomfortable with some aspect of you. And rather than deal with their own feeling of discomfort that's growing inside themselves, they try and deal with it by controlling their outside circumstances, i.e. you. So let's say something bad occurs and that has nothing to do with her, but it makes you angry. Like let's say the government sends you your driver's license and it has the wrong information printed on it. So now you have to go to the registration office, wait in line, sort it out, all because of, some bureaucrat's mistakes. When you find that out, obviously you're going to get angry. You're frustrated at the incompetence. You're upset that you're going to have to waste an afternoon. You're just generally kind of pissed off. Now, she witnesses your anger and she sits you down and she wants to explore it. She asks, well, why are you feeling this way? What's going on? What can I do to help you through this? Most guys will not realize what's actually going on here. All they see is their girlfriend being kind and supportive and wanting to help. And so they go along with it. They allow their girlfriend to try and fix them. But here's the thing. He's not broken, right? So anger in that situation, that was a perfectly normal, healthy response. Who wouldn't feel angry when they find out that they have to waste their time sorting out some bureaucrat's mistake and they're going to have to waste an afternoon? Anger is entirely appropriate as a response to that situation, but not to her because women are often scared of male anger. Maybe they were victims of male anger in the past, so it's a trigger for them. Or maybe they themselves don't allow themselves to actually express their own anger. And so they get uncomfortable seeing you get angry because it mirrors the emotion that they are working so hard to repress inside themselves. That one's really common with women. They don't want to be angry. They don't want to feel anger. So to get rid of their own discomfort, they try and help you by talking you out of your own emotion, by removing you from your own authentic response. That's not helpful. That's messed up. That is basically encouraging you to repress your own emotions and to be codependent with her. That's what's going on here. She wants you to stifle your own authentic response simply so that she doesn't have to feel uncomfortable. That's messed up. You should not tolerate it. Anger is a legitimate emotion, and just because you're a man does not mean that you should have to censor yourself simply to make the women around you comfortable. So all my brothers out there who do trust themselves and don't feel shame when they feel angry, you trust your own emotions. Please, you're exactly the kind of person that I want to encourage to watch the videos on my channel. You're the audience I'm looking for. So subscribe to this channel. And if you've already subscribed, hit the like button. So now, here's the question. What would it look like for a woman to genuinely help a man in a situation like this? What would it look like for her to be actually supportive? Well, it wouldn't be trying to fix you. It would be validating your emotional response. She would say, you have to waste an afternoon fixing someone else's mistake? That sucks. Yeah, I would be angry too. It's simple, isn't it? But it's very, very powerful. See, the man in that situation isn't made to feel like there's something wrong with him. His authentic emotional response is validated by her, and that's actually what he needs. When she's trying to fix him, his emotion, it gets blocked because she makes him feel as though it's wrong for him to feel that way. But if she simply validated his emotion and let him know that what he's feeling is normal and natural and that she supports him, then the emotion would rise within him and then it would fall away very naturally. He wouldn't stay angry, you see, because his anger was given the space for normal, healthy expression. That's what we want here in relationships. So don't tolerate women who are always trying to fix you. Just because it seems as though she's being helpful, that does not mean that her true motive isn't really selfish. And this advice is not really gendered. So all you high quality women who watch my channel, the same goes to you. Do not trust men who are constantly invalidating your emotions, trying to fix you, always make you feel as though there's something wrong with you. Negative experiences warrant negative emotions. That's a normal response. So the task in front of us is the same one that it always is, to become high quality individuals who are emotionally healthy and ultimately can trust ourselves. Why don't women have hobbies? Somebody asked me this question and my immediate thought was, women do have hobbies. What a ridiculous thing to say. But as I thought about it deeper, I can understand where he's coming from, because you see men constantly dedicating themselves to upskilling and to trying new things, whereas women almost have an inner peace about them that actually says they don't need to take as much action in the world. They quite enjoy interacting socially, and that can be very fulfilling to them. And this is just one of those differences between men and women that's important for guys to understand, so that they don't judge women by male standards, and of course vice versa. Anyway, I made an entire video going through the whole thing. If you want to see that video, check it out. It's on my Patreon page. My Patreon's just $5 a month, and you get instant access to a whole bunch of exclusive content. Really great stuff. I'd love to see you over there.